Okay guys, welcome back to another Dokkan Battle video, and today we're going to be discussing basically Ultimate Gohan and Power Awakened Piccolo, and basically my final thoughts about this. So I did watch, matter of fact, Truth's video. So he did publish a video out that did a max 200% link for both Beast Gohan and um, Power Awakened Piccolo, and I will definitely link those two into the comment section below, so that way you guys can refer to that as you wish. But I have made some notes in terms of exactly how well these guys perform, and my thoughts are, just to get it out of the way, I personally think this Power Awakened Piccolo is probably the best unit in the game. I do think they're better than the father and son Gallic Gun, Trunks and Vegeta. And I will definitely explain exactly why I think this Piccolo is better. And in all honesty, I think Gohan, he is probably top 5 unit in the game. Um, so I think in my previous video, I did state, like, just from first look, he doesn't seem to be as good as the Gammas. I think he's way better than Gammas. Now that I'm thinking about it. But in terms of longevity, I do think he might still fall short because of his defensive capabilities. So obviously in this video, I'm going to basically explain what notes I've taken from Truth's video. So just to let you know, these two videos. And some of the comparisons that's been made. So first of all, let's talk about Gohan. So one of the first issues is his link skill. So he doesn't have prepared for battle or Saiyan lineage. That's something that's been talked about a lot. And in all honesty, I don't think he should get prepared for battle. I know he's a Saiyan. I know he's Gohan. However, if basically some of these links is catered to basically how the unit is or how the character is. It's always been like this from the start of Dokkan. They always made the links in comparison towards what the character is or at what point of the show. So in this point, for example, Gohan was not prepared for battle. Like, he was clearly not prepared. He was still studying until he got a notification that, well, if at this point you guys, I don't know if it's going to be spoiler alert, but yeah, Gohan was not prepared for any battle of a sort. Obviously, him awakening to Beast is his own hidden potential as a Saiyan. He's always got crazy potential throughout the whole of Dokkan. I mean, whole of Dragon Ball. So I wouldn't be surprised him having his own beast form. But in all honesty, guys, he was not prepared for battle. As for Saiyan lineage, I do think he should have got Saiyan lineage. And in all honesty, if you take away either shocking speed or infighter for Saiyan lineage, like, I don't know why he doesn't have Saiyan lineage. He should have Saiyan lineage because he's part of Goku, and he's basically part of the, yeah, he's part of the Saiyan lineage. It's just like, it's the title of the link is explanatory. So I do think him getting prepared for battle is justified. I don't think he was prepared for battle at all in the movie, and so I don't think he should get the what do you call it, the link skill. The Saiyan lineage, I don't know why he doesn't have insane lineage. That's probably one note. This guy dishes out a lot of damage. Like, he dishes out a lot of damage. So in the video, Truth has used this guy with Kid Pan, the new Kid Pan, and B Pan, and he activated B Pan's active skill. He didn't, for some reason, he didn't he didn't put Gohan in the middle. He put Gohan as the first slot. So he didn't activate legendary power with B Pan. That's another 15% attack. But in the show, in the showcase, he did do 21 million attack with 24 ki. He is effective against all type. He did 21 million attack. Like, that is that is nutty. That is crazy. Like, to think that this guy, like, so I understand there are units that can do a lot of damage. There are units that can do a lot of damage. But there's a difference between someone doing 21 million with effective against all type compared to the father and son Gallic gun doing on average maybe 5 million. That's a huge difference. Like, what's happened there? What's happening there? It's like you can't build a team just purely on defense. And so the notion where defense is more important than offense, like completely entirely important, where you can basically throw away offense, that doesn't work. You need units that can hit hard. This guy hits hard. I think this is the most single-handedly damage-dealing unit in the game. Bear in mind, it is Kid Pan with B-Pan's active skill. But 21 million, that's like, obviously it's a heavily buffed up situation. And after that, he did a 12 million 12 key on his because if you have 20 key or more, he has a great chance of performing another super attack. I'm sorry, he launches an additional attack that has a great chance of performing a super attack. So this guy, in hindsight, could actually do 3 super attacks. Well, 1 18 key and 2 12 key in one given rotation. That's his purely good rotation. And in that sort of showcase, he was basically at max build up 546,000 defense. So obviously with his 18 key, he greatly raises defense. So if he does an 18 key, that's already 819k. I've done the math here, guys. So it was initially 546k defense, 18 key, 819k. Great chance of performing a super attack. That's 1.64 million. Sorry, basically 1,064,000, and then from his hidden potential buff, if he does another super attack, that's going to be 1.389 million defense. Bear in mind, Broly hits for 1.2 million in his this second phase, and then I think Omega, no, in his final phase, sorry, and Omega does like 1.5, nearly 1.6 million attack, like on his super. This guy is going to be tanking Omega, like, deep it, guys. This guy's physical Omega is int. You can literally put him in 3rd slot on the second of each of the second turn, where Omega is going to be doing the final attack, going to be a super attack of 1.6 million. Come on. This guy is good. This guy is great. Like, I don't understand the hate and the disappointment in this guy. This guy is literally top 5 unit of the game. Like, if you're looking mathematically, in terms of longevity, that's a different case. He might not survive in the long term of the game, but currently, right now, in this day and age, this guy is sick. This guy is great. Like, this is the ultimate Gohan that I've always wanted. I can understand the hate, or not the hate, but the disappointment of people saying that, oh yeah, this guy is not Beast Gohan. Oh, we don't have a playable Beast Gohan. That is understandable. I want a playable Beast Gohan. I think everyone does. But the fact that people are saying that this guy's an L, this guy's trash, this guy doesn't even compare to the top 10. I don't know what Bandai is doing. I feel like that's a massive disingenuous notion towards this guy. And I said it in my previous video. I feel like a lot of the YouTubers, not naming names obviously, but is before seeing exactly how these guys perform, already stated their biases, stated their opinions. Like, come on, guys. Let's be honest. This guy is going to be, like, literally, he's going to be a beast. This guy is a beast. Now, if I am going to be ranking him in the top 10, where would I be ranking him? So I did look back into the LR Final Form Cooler. he basically had the same defense, 147k in the most wanked out situation. He was paired up with SGR, EZA Cooler, and Garlic Jr. On his 18 key, he did 16.17 million, and then 10 million 12 keys afterwards. And I think he did 4. But with Cooler is a different case. Cooler can actually perform 5 super attacks in one go. So he can do an 18 key and then followed up by 4 12 keys. And if you guys do not know, his 12 key does greatly raises defense. So I have done the calculation in terms of what this guy would be doing after basically 5 super attacks. If you do decide to go for a 5 in a row 12 keys and greater raises defense, it's going to be up to nearly 2.8 million defense. But the thing is, you're not going to be putting either of these two units as a slot 1 unit. So you will be most likely going to be using these guys, this Gohan and Final Form Cooler, as a slot 2 or slot 3. Basically after super attacking. So in just comparison with Final Form Cooler still has the best potential peak. But I feel like Gohan is more consistent. He has more consistent defense after super attacking. Cooler is pure RNG. Cooler doesn't even hit as hard as Gohan. Gohan hit a 21 million. Right? And yeah, it's not a B-Pan active skill with Final Form Cooler, but Final Form Cooler has 2 support units, whereas Kid Pan was only supporting him once in that sort of scenario. So it kind of does level out and even out together. And so a 21 million that's effective against all type, if you're just putting that statistically on numbers, it's going to be a 30 million attack stat. Followed up by 12 million as a 12 key. And that's effective against all type, that's going to be 80 million attack stat. So, in all honesty, with Gohan himself, I do think he performs better than Cooler. I would put him basically above Cooler. And the reason is, he's more consistent. Whereas Cooler will have higher peaks. He'll have the greatest, highest peak potential. But to be fair, I think I take over consistency over RNG. And that's my honest truth. I would not be putting either of these two units as a first slot unit. So, is he better than, let's say, for example, what's his name? LR Birdku? LR, the tech Super Saiyan Goku from the Cooler's Revenge movie. No, is it Cooler Revenge movie? Yeah, I think so. Cooler's Revenge movie. No. So, purely because Goku guards and he stacks defense on his 18 key. In hindsight, in the future, Gohan will not be able to perform. And maybe Cooler will outperform him. But right now, that doesn't seem to be the case. Not even if you're going for, let's say, long events. Not if you're going to go for more or red zone. Like, stages are harder from red zone, obviously. But that's why I would not put him above Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I mean, not Super Saiyan 4 Goku. To Super Saiyan Birdku. Because at the end of the day, defense does help. Like, a lot of these units, they can hit hard. But there's a difference between hitting hard and then doing a 21 million with that's effective against all type. There's a massive difference. Like, Cooler hits hard. He can do easily a 16 million on his 18 key and then followed up by 4 10 million. That's ridiculous. Like, even the damage output Cooler does is greater than Gohan. But it's purely RNG. So I do value consistency over RNG. But I love Final Form Cooler. He's actually I think he is my top 3 in terms of most fun units in the game. So that's my honest opinion with this Gohan. I do think he's better than Cooler, but not as good as the um, Bird Coup. In terms of utility, so this is the difference. I never, I do value the 7-year anniversary a lot higher than most people because of their utility, of what they can do, and basically the max output. I would put the 7-year anniversary on par with Gohan and Final Form Cooler. Like, in general, I would. So, guys, that's my honest opinion. I think Gohan is a lot better than what most people say, and it does. It's a shame. It's a shame that most people just don't see, um, that don't withdraw their own opinions without actually seeing how well these guys perform, and that's kind of sad. So those who actually do make comments, yeah, I'll be honest, just stop. It's like, it's embarrassing. You make a bad name to the game, and it's just, Gohan is better than what most people say. In the honest truth, and I've watched the Truth's video, and I can clearly see that this guy is pumping out like close enough, all in all, 50 million attack stat, and then a 1.4 million defense. Like, come on, guys. Like, let's honestly speak the truth here. But I do sympathize with people that we don't have a playable Beast Gohan, but I am looking forward into the future that we do eventually get one, because I've always wanted an Ultimate Gohan, LR Ultimate Gohan. We finally got him. We just have to wait slightly a bit longer for a playable Beast Gohan, and that's perfectly fine in my books. Okay, so Piccolo. Piccolo himself, actually, I do think he is the new best unit in the game. And I'm not saying this lightly. I think he trumps over the the father and son Gallic Gun. And the reason is, this guy, fully built up, had 877k defense. This is with STR Piccolo, from the, well, which banner is that one? From the Worldwide Celebration, basically, and then Kid Pan. At that point, he was doing 877k defense. This guy has a base 20% damage reduction of 20%. This guy had close enough 900k defense, fully built up with support, with 20k or with 20% damage reduction. Am I dumb? Like, honestly, guys, am I dumb? Like, the father-son Gallic Gun Duo and LR Bird Coup are not coming close to this. Like, in terms of raw, like, defense, like, even if it's just a raw defensive stat, he's not guarding. His defense is so high, you don't even need to give him guard. But yeah, he still has guard for the first 3 turns. And he basically buffs himself up 30% attack and defense for every damage received up to 150. Guys, am I being dumb here? This guy, what's going on? Piccolo is a lot better than what most people say. And I personally think, purely on defensively, purely, he is probably up there as one of the best defensive units. 900k defense, and he hasn't super attack. This guy basically gets, he greatly raises his defense on his 12 key and 18 key. Like, 900k defense. You times that, you do an 18 key. That's 1350. That's 1.35 million defense with 20% damage reduction. He super attacks with his 12 key after, let's say, for example, a hidden potential. This guy's close enough to 2 million defense with 20% damage reduction. And let's say, for example, by happenstance, this guy, you manage to get your HP less than 30%. He then this guy heals you, fully heals you, and then on top of that, he has an additional damage reduction of 30% starting from the turn. 2 million defense with 50% damage reduction. Guys, no super attack in this game is going to hit hard on this Piccolo. That obviously that is a maxed out Piccolo, but if we're looking purely at 900k with 20% damage reduction, this guy is going to be tanking. The only thing that would be hitting, that would probably hit hard onto this Piccolo is probably yeah, it's probably the int Omega Shenron from the red zone. If you do put him in the 3rd slot and he does get supered. But even at 900k, right? He super attacks, let's say, basically 2 million defense with 20% damage reduction. I think Omega will even struggle basically denting on this guy. This guy also buffs up the allies with 2 ki from the same turn after receiving an attack. So he is basically a 1st slot unit. I don't understand the hate, guys. I really don't. Even on paper, these guys are good. The only reason why I'm disappointed is because obviously we don't have a playable Beast Gohan or playable... Like, we do have a playable Orange Piccolo, but not like a normal form Orange Piccolo. So in the future, there's going to be another Piccolo, basically Orange Piccolo in the future that we can have. There's going to be a standalone alongside with Beast Gohan. Guys, I do think Piccolo is probably he's the best unit in the game, in my opinion. On that same turn, on Truth's video, his attack is 15.2 million on his 18 ki and then 9.5 million on his 12 ki. Like I said, there is a difference between a character hitting hard and a character hitting this hard, you know? Like, we're coming on to like 30 million, 20 million, 30 million attack stats like so casually, and we're thinking these guys are trash. Like I said, you can't build a team just full. Like, imagine you had a team, yeah, that is just filled with units that is basically like AGL go to Frieza. And I'm not talking about the LR, I'm talking about the TUR. You're going to be finding so hard just to dish out the damage. The battle is going to be so long. Yes, eventually you'll be able to chip his health away every time, but it's like, it's just going to take time, guys. There is a right balance between defending and hitting hard, and I do value defense over offense, but I don't value to the point where it's like there is no offense. There is a balance. There's a balance to all this. So that's my honest opinion about these guys. I do think Piccolo, he is, in my opinion, the best unit in the game. As for Gohan, I would say he's a top 5 unit in the game. But that's it. I think the hate for this celebration is very unjustified. I feel like people were just saying and talking out of their behinds, you know, without actually seeing these guys perform. I've now seen these guys perform. These are my final thoughts. If you guys agree with me, smash the like button. But in the future, I'm just going to stop listening to a lot of these people, why they be hating on this game, because at this point, I think Bandai is doing it just. In the future, we'll eventually have a playable Beast Gohan. I don't mind that this is an active skill. It's the best looking active skill ever. But come on, guys. The community is so toxic, man. If nothing goes their way, people become toxic. It's so sad. It's so sad. If you're one of those people, just stop. Just stop. This is a good game. But anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.